So guys, about a week ago, I picked up this 2009 Outback for $1,000. I thought I was getting a pretty good deal, and it turns out I got a big old hunk of junk. And I guess we're just gonna talk about how I got screwed over on this Outback in today's video. So guys, I guess it's best to start at the beginning of the story. About 2 weeks ago, I was contacted by an individual, the previous owner of this 2009 Outback, wanting to know if I wanted to buy it. Just a complete cold call. A local shop in town gave them my contact info because, of course, they know that I'm the Subaru guy and that I like to buy them every once in a while, whether for parts or to fix and flip or what have you. So he called me up and gave me the details on this car, and over the phone, purely over the phone, hadn't seen it or anything, I made him an offer. That was my first mistake. Now, everything that I was told about the car. So it's a 2009 Outback. It is a premium model, cloth seats, all of that. Has limited features. It's not the limited model that has leather and all the amenities. It has about 208,000 miles on the clock, and I was told that it had a remanufactured engine put in it just over a year ago and only had about 10,000 miles on that remanufactured engine that was installed. That remanufactured engine was installed by the shop that gave this customer my contact info to buy the car from me. The reason they wanted to get rid of the car after just putting a remanufactured engine in it is because they had a transmission issue. They think the transmission's going in it. Now, 4EAT automatics rarely give trouble, at least in my personal experience with them. They're great for hundreds of thousands of miles with little to no input needed other than regular fluid changes and occasional solenoid here or there, which in this model was actually serviceable, separate from the valve body like the new CVTs. Anyway, I was looking at it as a whole, that we have a high mileage 09. This is my least favorite Outback model. I wasn't gonna buy it to fix and flip. I didn't see the car, so I didn't know what condition the body was in, the interior was in, and it was high mileage. I knew it had a clean title. But I knew that it had a remanufactured engine, or so I was told by this person trying to sell it to me. So, not looking to buy a car whatsoever. I've got plenty of parts cars. I've got plenty of project cars right now. I am covered up with stuff. I didn't need anything else. So I looked at it like this. I'm buying a remanufactured engine that's coming in a protective shipping container to hold it until I need that nice, fresh EJ253, which I can always use an EJ253 because of head gasket issues and people not changing oil and throwing a rod, etc. So it's always good to have a spare good engine. So again, without seeing the car, big mistake. Going by what I was told, again, another big mistake. I just offered up $1,000, sight unseen. I wasn't trying to be mean, ugly, lowball him, nothing. He cold called me to sell the car. I wasn't looking to buy a car. It was worth $1,000 to me. I didn't want to put any more into it because it was a high mileage, undesirable chassis and a bad transmission. So he agreed immediately, which was a little sketch that he would take that big of a loss on it. But again, I wasn't sweating it. I was getting a reman engine with like 10,000 miles on it for $1,000. And maybe some good body panels and some interior components and wheels and tires, other parts I could sell off the car. So after he accepted, a couple of days later, we arranged a time for him to drive the car to me, to leave it, sign paperwork on the title, bill of sale, and exchange money. He was still driving it because it wasn't that big of an issue with the transmission. It was acting erratically or bucking, every once in a while slipping. I don't know exactly. I've never driven the car. It was just brought to me and I paid for it. So I should have looked the car over immediately as soon as he got it to me before I locked in that deal. But at that point I was like, well, it's $1,000. He came to me, you know, it is what it is. I went and opened the hood, and what did I see but the part where I got screwed? And that is that this car does not have a remanufactured engine. It does not have a nice new 10,000 mile EJ253. It has a piece of crap salvage yard engine, literally the marker writing numbers on the intake manifold, not even taken off of it, and blown head gaskets and just profusely pouring oil. So, $1,000 for a 208,000 mile, rusted, spent some time up north, salvage engine with blown head gaskets, blown out transmission, and just an all-around shabby condition. No air conditioning, of course, not working, all of that good stuff. So yeah, I really did shoot myself in the foot here. So I'll show you what I'm seeing. Like I said, the engine was put in this car in December of 2022. We just passed December 2023 3 months ago. So a little over a year, this thing has just puked oil all over itself for the last year because, of course, that salvage engine had blown head gaskets, because why wouldn't it? It had never been replaced. It probably got wrecked before the head gaskets failed, or the original head gaskets were replaced, and they plugged the engine and sold it to these people. So that brings me to the point of the video, which is I'm not holding the owner of the car that sold it to me at fault. I'm not holding the shop that did the work at fault, because there could have been a big failure of communication somewhere along the lines. Either the customer didn't understand and assumed it was a remanufactured engine, or didn't understand it was a used salvage yard engine, or maybe the mechanic that put it in told him it was going to be a reman engine and just decided to pocket his money and put a salvage yard engine in it. It's all speculatory. I don't know. At the end of the day, crap rolls downhill, and I was at the bottom to catch all this. So, looking at the paperwork I was given by the customer, it's the bill from where they had the replacement done, it's the warranty on the engine. It clearly states auto salvage, used engine, all over the paperwork for the warranty. Nothing is written on the actual bill invoice from the mechanic shop. It just says engine replacement, $5,500. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I'd put $5,500 into a 2009 with 194,000 miles at the time for a junkyard salvage engine with blown head gaskets. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with this car, or how I'm gonna recoup my money on it. I might just throw it up for sale for $1,000 as is and hope someone takes it off my hands. Might use it as a educational guide. We might dig into that 4EAT and try to figure out what's going on with the transmission, if it really is a bad blown transmission, or if it's an electrical fault or something like that. I haven't even hooked a scan tool to this thing. I was so disgusted after I bought it and realized how bad it was that I just parked it over here, and I haven't really touched it in the last 2 weeks. Haven't even gone to the DMV and got the title for it yet. I've still got the title and bill of sale signed and just sitting on my toolbox. I just haven't wanted to deal with this problem. But again, it's my problem. I made it. I didn't go through my checks and balances to make sure I didn't get put in this situation. So again, I take all the blame. Now, it's so shocking to me that today, this day and age, that someone would put $5,500 into a 2009 with 195,000, 194,000 miles at the time, $5,500 into one of these for a salvage yard engine. Now, I can understand putting that money in if you thought you were getting a remanufactured engine, which I haven't priced an EJ253 in forever, so I don't know what reman engines are actually going for. I know that for a time there, during 2020 to the 2022 or so, that even used engines were bringing an exorbitant price tag, that, you know, the $500, $1,000 EJs of pre-2020 were now $1,000, $2,000. So even if they got this engine for $2,000 from the salvage yard, that's what their price was to put it in, $3,500 is a lot in labor to drop one of these in. I mean, it takes like 45 minutes, honestly, if you do it a lot and you're familiar with it. I think the book time on an engine replacement for one of these is like 8 hours. Even if you're charging $100 an hour or $200 an hour, that's still nowhere near the $3,000 plus in labor to put this salvage yard engine in. So I don't get it. I don't understand why the customer would put $5,500 into this thing, especially if they knew they were getting a junkyard engine. I don't know how they thought they were getting a reman engine for that kind of money, but again, I don't know what reman engines are selling for, especially the aftermarket ones like Jasper or Spartan, I think, is another one that does reman engines. I have no idea what that stuff goes for because I rarely buy in the aftermarket anymore. But all the way around, it's just, you know, bad business. I think I would not charge someone $5,500 to put an engine in an '09 and it'd be a junkyard engine, that's for sure, especially not with blown head gaskets and profusely leaking oil. I mean, they put a time belt water pump kit on it. At least it's got a sticker saying so. There is a list of things, of course, when you get a salvage engine that has a warranty that you have to do. I believe the paperwork on this one said a new crank seal, new remain seal, pull the oil pan, clean the pickup, flush the oil pan, reseal it, new time belt and new tensioner if needed, new coolant, new thermostat, and I can't remember what else, but you know, it's basic stuff. It's been a long time since I've installed a salvage engine that had a warranty, but that's basically it. Replace flywheel bolts, change oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, service or flush cooling system, radiator, water pump replacement is recommended, blah, 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 blah. So that's all the prerequisites you've got to do. Was it all done? I don't know. I wasn't there, but I assume so if they were going to honor the warranty. Everything that was covered under this warranty is the engine block, cylinder heads, the head gasket, which you had a whole year window there to see that the head gaskets were blown. They should have warrantied this engine out. It should have been replaced with another engine, or they should have paid to have the head gaskets replaced on the engine under their warranty. All internal lubricated parts, camshafts, crankshaft, pistons, valves, lifters, engine timing components. Timing components are not covered and should be replaced prior to the installation. So not sure why they had that in the bullet points of what is listed is covered under the warranty, but whatever. It was a 12-month warranty. The warranty ran out last December, 3 months ago. It's non-transferable, so I'm stuck with it. It's not like I could take it back to the shop and be like, hey, this piece of junk I just bought was under warranty, and you replace an engine and it's a piece of junk. So I don't know. It is what it is. So there you go, guys. I got screwed on a 2009 Outback. I know a lot of you have probably been waiting for me to get screwed over on buying a used Subaru. A lot of you speculated I was going to get screwed over on that STI. Luckily, I didn't. I made a good amount of money on it, and it turned out to be a really great car when I was done. So far, I haven't really got hurt on flipping, buying, selling used Subarus, but this one, it stings. It's probably going to hurt. I doubt I can break even on it, but we might be able to make some videos out of it. Again, go through with the 4EAT and at least figure out what's wrong with it. I'm probably not going to pull this engine. I'm probably not going to put head gaskets on it. I'm probably not going to worry with it. If anyone needs body panels or anything for a 2005 to 2009 Outback, let me know in the comments. If I get enough interest, I'll probably just part it out. If I can recoup my $1,000, you know, then we'll part it out. Or if any of you are interested in buying this piece of junk, I say that, but we will go through and do a full inspection to see exactly what all is actually wrong with it. So don't go offer me $200 for it or $100 for it just yet in the comments. But we will do an inspection at the bare least, front to back, to see how this thing is held up and what all is destroyed on it and what all is truly bad on it. But just a visual once over, I can see there's a profuse amount of oil leaking between the head and the block. So I know the head gaskets are blown. Also, it was low on coolant, pretty daggum low. And yeah, I mean, it's an EJ253 with the factory single layer graphite coated head gaskets on it. Of course, it's got a head gasket failure. So there you go, guys. I got screwed and it's all my fault. I will take responsibility for it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was just me complaining about $1,000 I wasted on a Subaru. But hey, hopefully you got some kind of entertainment out of it. Leave in the comments, what do you think I should do with the thing? If you have any parts inquiries, or if you maybe want to buy it yourself, leave it all in the comments. See you guys in the next video.